Welcome to a deep dive into sleep innovation. In this episode, we're going to journey back to the mid-90s when waterbeds faded and new sleep products emerged. Discover how manufacturers, retailers, and futon experts joined forces to form the Specialty Sleep Association, merging trade shows and setting up a permanent Las Vegas showroom that launched major mattress brands. My friend, the executive director, Tambra Jones, is here to talk all things SSA, and the FAM podcast starts right now. Did you know that 86% of customers buy from the first business that responds? And if you text back very quickly, that number jumps to over 90%. That's why Podium's AI employee, Jerry, is a game changer. Jerry never sleeps, never takes a lunch break, and never puts in a 2-week notice. He's always on, responding in seconds, so you never lose a lead again. Turn missed calls into texts, capture more leads, and close more deals, all with Podium. Want to see how it works? Get a demo today at podium.com/FAM. Podium, because speed wins sales.
Welcome to the FAM podcast with Mark Kinsley. This is where the best in the bedding business get even better.
Welcome to the FAM podcast. It is so great to see you, Tambra Jones. A lot of people know you. For those who don't, give us a proper intro.
Well, Tambra Jones, SSA, long time in the furniture industry, started out in San Francisco, right? Always running a small little floor and bringing people in, new people, giving them places to go, giving them places to start. So that's in my blood. And here we are.
What were you doing in San Francisco? How did you start in the industry?
I was the trade show manager at the Concourse, San Francisco Concourse, which is part of the design center, but it was the area that was, proper trade show. So we had, everybody went through there, same kind of thing as we are now. Smaller companies got their start. Oh, you know who got their start with me in San Francisco?
Tell me.
Famous man named Michael Amini.
Michael Amini did.
Michael Amini. I can walk into his showroom anytime and I'm treated like the Queen of Sheba. But I mean, a lot of people that started out, he and his wife would come up from LA with these little furniture in the little spot in San Francisco. But so a lot, it's the same kind of thing, right? People were making their introductions and doing their stuff. And so I've been doing in this game for a long time. San Francisco kind of left, but in San Francisco, I created a lifestyle section on the show floor. And that's where I got to know all the futon people, right? All the futon guys. And they had a futon association. And they were, up and running for a couple of years. And
I bet they're a bunch of gangsters, weren't they? The Futon Association.
It was like the Waterbed Association, the Futon Association. Yeah. So then they came to me and said, would you run the trade show? A few things happened. And I said, okay. So I started with them. And they were little tiny. Anyway, we built it up and it was great. And we moved the show all around the country. Meanwhile, the waterbed guys were kind of changing, and they ended up changing into Specialty Sleep, and they changed a lot of stuff. They went from a giant board to a smaller board, and as things evolve. And then I got involved. I knew their president of that association came to me, and we put our heads together because I wanted to grow. Futon did, and they needed a space to go. So we joined, and the board stayed separate. Everything was separate, but we put the shows together back in 1999, and we still traveled all around. And it was great fun. It was fun. Futon Association fell apart, and some of those guys came with me. But ever since then, we're still the spot where you will come. And if you're new, you're going to get your feet wet. You're going to learn about the industry, and you're going to get bigger and go somewhere else. Or if you like being part of us and being in a nice, really good showroom with a small footprint instead of being out in a small spot next to the plants and the jewelry, then you'll stay with us. And so that's us.
That's the Specialty Sleep Association. And it is such a cool place at the Las Vegas market. You have a showroom, obviously, for people who don't know, and it's dedicated to different vendors and brands that are part of SSA. And, if you're just getting started, I remember the very first time you're talking about waterbeds. Well, 2 questions. First of all, was Charlie Hall ever on the Waterbed Association board, the inventor of the waterbed?
I don't know if he was on the Waterbed Association board, but I'm trying to think back if I looked in those files. I don't know that he was. But he's talking about his uncle, right?
Yeah. I had Charlie on the show. So if anybody wants to,
I just met him this year.
Yeah. I met him in person. It was like meeting a celebrity in the industry. And so anybody that hasn't listened to that show, you can go to thefam.com and search for Charlie Hall. He's the inventor of the waterbed, and you can listen to that crazy, amazing story. I think he originally called it the pleasure pit. He was in San Francisco.
Well, I mean, a lot of these guys, you know, we, in our newsletter, we have a waterbed piece every month, and Inomex and Boyd are the ones that write it, because I still love waterbeds. So we're still like, go for it. We have a fun, like the ZG bed in our showroom right now has that gel, which is, you know, waterbed people, they made some gel. Anyway, so that's what that is. It's fun. We like specialty of all sorts.
And Todd and Tara Youngblood have launched Jelly Sleep, which is incredible. I mean, it literally, we had Tara on the show as well recently to talk about that innovation and that technology. So that's the cool thing. It's a clearinghouse for anything that's new. Sometimes these ideas seem a little out there, pushing the boundaries. Walk people through just some of the technology, the innovation, the products they would see in the SSA space. Well, like the guys from Cambridge.
Oh, Cambridge Sleep. Yeah,
Sleep.
They were last market for the first time. They've got that new sleep tech, and it's just, you know, about getting good sleep, and it's a system where you can have speakers around you to get you in the mood and get you the zone and the sound and all of that stuff. But they also have it embedded in a pillow now, and which was cool. So, and they'll be back. So if you haven't seen them, come back.
They were walking me through that technology, and what it actually does is, I think it adjusts your brain waves using sound frequency, and it actually sort of takes you from sort of these chaotic brain waves to having sleep brain waves. And it's been proven to work. I'm like, this is absolutely incredible. I want one in my house. I want to create the ultimate sleep sanctuary and have something like that.
And I got one. I didn't get the pillow one. I got the one just with the sounds, and it's soothing. It is. Because sleeping is not my superpower. And so I like it. I really like it. So they were there. I mean, you know, there was a gal who came with this idea for a pillow, she and her partner, and they had, you know, it was an adjustable pillow. There were like little round bolster parts of it, and then the inside of it, and you can adjust it. And it was really, really cool. And she was a little company, and people came to see it. And lo and behold, Pure Care licensed it. They licensed her. So she became part of Pure Care with her little license. She started in our room, and she brought that over to them. So you never know what's going to happen, because a lot of things that happen in our showroom are B2B. I mean, you look at pretty much everybody that's at the show, manufacturers are going to walk through, especially when they're bored. There's nobody in their showroom. They come over to us and check us out, and they'll always meet people and see people. And there's a lot of that going on, B2B and licensing, and yeah, it's cool.
That is super cool. I've just met so many fascinating people just walking through the SSA space. I remember the very first time I met Todd Youngblood, who, you know, founder Chili Pad, him and Tara, you know, they were trying to get into the mattress industry with Chili Pad, and they ended up going direct to consumer and doing even better. I think Todd at one point said he X'd his revenue once he stopped trying to sell within the mattress industry. But, you know, it's a great story because he figured it out. And he used that moment in the SSA space and the SSA membership to figure out what that path was forward, and, you know, ended up building a really incredible company. And now, like I said, they're at it again with Jelly Sleep. So I love seeing, you know, vendors in there. Quick take, by the way, speaking of people that we know and met, if you're watching on YouTube or on video, I've got my relief bed hat on. Scott Smalling, one of our favorite people. Shout out to Scott, who's doing incredible work with relief bed, and he hangs out in the SSA space a lot.
Well, like I said, he began with Comfort Air, right? I mean, Comfortpedic, sorry. Whoops. Comfortpedic. And he was with me. He was at the SSA space in the tents in Vegas. And that's where he was showing until he sold it, right, to Simmons. But so we've been friends for a long time. He's one of my besties.
So if somebody wanted to join the SSA, like what do they get?
Well, so if you are showing the showroom, of course, then you're a member, then that's what you get, which is the best. If you're not in the showroom and you are manufacturing member, we always try and support you. We feature our members. We do member spotlights on LinkedIn, Facebook, and in our newsletter. So we want to help promote you. So we're going to give you as much PR, as much advertising as we can on our end. And it's always more effective, I think, for a company to have a third party sing their praises and talk about them than their own advertising. And we have a lot of play on LinkedIn. I mean, we totally do. And we get comments on it. It's fun. So that's basically what you're going to get. It's a very small association. It's not very expensive. $200 a year if you're not on the show floor, to be on the website and be promoted at least once a year online by a third party. And you get
isn't it also for that $200 a year, don't you get sort of like the list of people that come through during Vegas market?
You do not. For that you can get for $500 a year, you will get one show list. And if you for $1,000 a year, you get 2 show lists. Those are
and you have a bunch of members that go through, right? Or a bunch of buyers that come through there. So anybody that's like trying to get, with the buyers, that's a good list to have.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I mean, we're going to get in January, there's going to be like 450, 500 groups, right? Those are buyers. Those are hot people looking for sleep. They're coming in a sleep room, right? And then, it's less in July, but I mean, it's a really good list.
I mean, for $1,000, I mean, as somebody who has been a brand builder for a long time and is trying to find, distribution, I mean, that's a hot list for $1,000. Anybody would pay that. Totally worth it.
The people that have in their own showroom, they're probably bringing in, who they want, but they might want to take a peek at it every now and again. But even if you don't want the list, just being part of the group and getting PR is cool and fun, I think.
Yeah. Speaking of getting PR, your new website's banging. Like, it looks really good.
Yeah, we needed to bring it up into the modern ages. We needed to have something that could grow with us. We're going to try and do more and more stuff for members, and we needed to have a spot that could. Our other guy was it wasn't ancient, but it was on the verge.
Who should we give a shout out to for the website?
First Direct, Joel.
Yeah. First Direct Marketing. They did a great job.
Marketing. They killed it. It was so good. They worked with me, and I have a lot of questions always, and they worked with me. They babysat me through the project. It was fun. Shout out, Joel.
They're some of the best with customer service I've ever worked with, and I've run agencies, and they do such a good job, and they're very patient. They do great work, and so nice job, First Direct, Joel, Audrey, Brianna, the entire team over there. Just amazing people.
Great. And there's Arlene who works for them. I want to shout out to Arlene. She's fantastic. She's my own personal babysitter. Great
job, Arlene. Hey, if you're going to be lucky enough to babysit anybody, it's Tambra Jones.
Because we'll have fun. We always have fun.
Hey, so having fun is one thing, but on a business front, tell people about BedFacts, the BedFacts verified program. What is that, and where did it come from?
So back several years ago, Dale Reed, who was the president of the SSA, he was on the board. He and I were sitting around, honest to God, it was that dinner at a show, and we were thinking, everybody's greenwashing. We're looking out there, and people are saying that they're organic and they're this and they're that, and we know darn well they're not. They're greenwashing. So we came up with a green initiative that we brought people in, and it was going to be just absolute green and all of that. Only product we were verifying. We were verifying what they were saying. We weren't doing any testing. They needed to do that. So that was a program that we started. But it didn't have a lot of legs because people, honestly, when they saw what was going to take and they had to prove to us with their transaction reports what they were saying, they're like, I think we'll just say it. We don't need to prove it. And then we thought, well, what about just BedFacts? Let's turn it into BedFacts, like a Carfax, a BedFacts, so that anybody who makes anything could just say what's in the bed. It was a label, and we would verify it. It was a label that just said what's in the bed. How do you have organic cover? Great. Do you have Certipure foam? What do you have? Right. So we just wanted to make it a really clean BedFacts. But again, we just had pushback. People did not want to give us their transaction reports, and people didn't want to be a part of it. We're small. Dale Reed really was the Pied Piper on that. He was working to get people involved, and there just wasn't enough interest the manufacturers really had to be on it. They had to send us their transaction reports. They had to send us a bunch of stuff, and they really didn't want to do it. It was a lot of work. There was a lot of work, and they weren't feeling like the consumer cared that much. We thought the consumer was really, really going to care. And I think the consumers that care are the ones who want organic, right? And there are all those certifications out there. If you're going to call yourself certified organic, you have to have those. And so you need to have your GOTS, and you need to have your Green Guard, you need to have all those things. So you can get them. We tried.
Let's go there for a minute. I mean, this greenwashing thing and do the consumers care? That's long been a conversation. Where do you think the consumer is in that journey today? Now, obviously, we've seen companies like Avocado and others have some incredible growth. They're able to find those consumers who do care about the natural or their organic story. But it seems like the consumer is a little more adept these days at actually sifting through what's BS and what's real. What's your take on it?
I think that's true too. I mean, I think with the internet, we have to give sort of all glory to the consumer because they are doing their homework. And the ones who really want that kind of product, they can find it. You know, Naturepedic is in our showroom. They are completely organic in everything they do, furniture, everything, soup to nuts. And their marketing, they're really doing well. And they're growing. I mean, I was when they were telling me about the amount of growth that they've had over the last year, 18 months, it's exponential. So the consumer does want it, but they kind of know where to get it. And those people that are supplying it, they already have the GOTS and the Green Guard. They are paying, and it costs a lot of money to get certified by those programs. So the people that have them, the people that are certified, are spending the money. They're doing what it needs to do. So I think if you want organic, then you look at somebody who's got those certifications. I would.
Yeah, I think that's right. I remember seeing even just some of the early days of Avocado, like some of the copy they were writing was getting into like all of the different elements of any raw material that went into their mattresses. And so clearly it's been a growing segment. Well, okay, so take us into some of the stories. What have been some of the most wacky or crazy innovations that have ever flowed through the SSA space? Because people have loving terminology that gets applied to the SSA space. Like,
give me John Amidala's name.
What is it? Are you going to reveal?
No, I don't like it. But you can ask him. I will tell you a wild thing that introduced into our room, and then they got a showroom like only after 2 times. Was this like a blow up something that went under the mattress, and you literally pushed a button to raise the mattress off the frame so you could put the sheets on better. It was literally like, and it would lift the mattress up, and so you could turn the mattress around. I wish I could remember the name of it.
Are you talking about the mattress jack?
It wasn't called that. They had a company that just did. They didn't call it the mattress jack, but it worked like a mattress jack. Is that what the mattress? Was it a little bladder that went under and filled up with air?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so those guys came and they were there, and it was so fun. They were hysterical. They would put their mattress up and turn it around and show how you could do it. And then they went off into their own showroom and building B for a few times. And then I don't know where they are. I'm not sure if it took off, but I thought that was wild myself. We've had so many. Another thing for mattress and sheets, this little wedge that the hotels bought, so that you could change your sheets out better. The cool pillow I told you about that went to Pure Care. That was really cool and fun. What else was really cool? I wish I would have thought about this earlier. I can't even think about more. We've had so many wild adjustables too. All the adjustable beds that do everything. They have drawers, then they have outlets. And so this was a long time ago, but now everybody's got them. Everybody's got them. That's one thing in the furniture industry. If you have a good idea, someone's going to take it and make it their own. So now everybody's got them. But it was so wild when we first got those, when everybody had cell phones, and now it had a cell phone jack. It was like, oh, but now everyone's got it. So
it's like, if you want to see like what could be a feature or what the innovation really is, you got to take a lap around the SSA space, because you're right. I mean, you think about that. Yeah.
There was one guy that was on Shark Tank. Well, he was in our showroom first, and then he went on Shark Tank. He had this thing that was kind of like he wanted to be like Chili Pad, but it was something that went at the bottom of the bed, and it was like a fan. It didn't blow on you. It blew under your sheet and on you under the bed. It was so wild. And
yeah, the bed jet.
It was bed jet. So there, and then he went on. Remember, he went on Shark Tank and he tanked, but he sold it for a few people, but I haven't heard one word from him since. And I don't know if he's still selling it online, but that guy was in there. He was in there for a couple of shows. It was wild. I thought it was wild.
Yeah, I remember seeing him on BedJet. He really flubbed it, didn't he?
He did. He was disrespectful, in my opinion. You should not disrespect those sharks. They have a lot of money. They could help you.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was disrespectful, and then they kind of chewed him up, spit him out.
Spit him up.
Or whatever sharks do.
Another temperature guy. He had. I wish if you would have told me, I would have looked up these company names. But there was a guy that had a headboard, and it was a big giant headboard around the bed, and coming off out of the headboard was also like a fan. So you were almost in your little zone. The headboard only was maybe 2 or 3 feet on the side, but in your little zone, there was somehow air coming through. And the headboard had lights on it, and it was they were there for a couple of shows, and then they didn't do that well, so they left. But it was a fun idea.
Man, it's always something new at the SSA space. Always something new.
Always something fun. I mean, you got to come in and see what people are doing, right?
So speaking of seeing what people are doing, I finally, last April, was able to get you to come to our Dream Camp event in Palm Springs. And this year you're coming back for Dream Camp San Antonio, which I'm so happy about. Thank you. Give me your hot takes. Like, who did you meet? What did you think? What was it like going to a Dream Camp event? I'm just curious now.
Well, it is like camp because you're there, you're on a mission. It's for the sleep industry. So everybody was tied into that, and retailers and manufacturers and all of that. So, and it's business. Everyone's talking about their business. They want to be more effective business-wise. But what I liked about Dream Camp is I think it was geared toward all of us becoming better humans, trying to be the best human we could be. We talked about in the sessions, we talked about how to actually be a better leader, to make everyone in our group, anyone who's with us, give them the leg up so they can succeed. I mean, our success is their success. So how can we help them? Let me help you. But that's what it was. I felt that was really great. And I met great people that were there. A lot of retailers. There are more retailers at your event than there are in the other industry events. And so I met a lot of retailers that I hadn't met before, which was cool for me because they hadn't come through the showroom yet, Kinsley. And after that first Dream Camp, I had a lot of new retailers coming through, and now they're my buds. They come through, they check it out, we laugh, it's great. So, but I learned a lot. And it was like camp because there's a lot of camaraderie, and you really
tell people
you get to know them. I loved it.
Well, take me into that a little bit more, just because I'm just curious. This is almost me just getting some real time feedback. What is it about like a Dream Camp or a FAM event that you do get to know people better? Like, what are the conditions there? How does that happen? And it doesn't happen as much in other places.
Well, I can only speak to camp because I was a rookie camper. I'm going to be a rookie summiter coming up. I didn't get to go to Summit yet, but I'm coming. I'm going. And because at a FAM event, it is a FAM. I feel like, I mean, there is a camaraderie to it. And what is the difference? It's camaraderie. It's people who care about one another, it feels like. And the interesting thing I find are the people that go to FAM events. When you see those people at other events, they're like, hey, I mean, they are still a FAM. You're still a FAM, right? I feel like, and I'm a FAM. I feel like we're a FAM. And so you build a bond. Mark, you are actually facilitating bonds that are built in the industry with people who are doing their best for themselves and for everyone else around them. I mean, it speaks completely to me because my mantra is I'm here to be truly helpful. That's me. I am here to be truly, truly helpful. That's how I feel about the SSA. The SSA is here to be truly, truly helpful. And I felt like at Dream Camp, that was what everyone was talking about, helping one another, helping their staff. It was great.
One of the things that I love about Dream Camp is just what you described. I want everybody to walk away with 39 new best friends and 39 sticks of dynamite that you can throw into any log jam, and people that whenever the accordion comes back together, we go out to our own separate ways, but when we come back together, there's like that moment again, like you're reliving something that you only experienced, once, but you experienced it on a deeper level instead of just like the thin relationships and the thin handshakes and a clink of a glass here and there. It's fun to go deeper with these friendships and relationships because we're living our lives in this industry together.
We are. And that's the key. We went deeper. We absolutely did. And I just met great people. I mean, I met Dr. Kim. She spoke for me she spoke for the SSA, right?
I know.
So you just meet people. And I mean, I'm a Pied Piper. I tell everyone they should be a camper for sure. So watch out. When I go to Summit, I might be a double whammy Pied Piper because I'm excited for that too.
Let's go. Well, hey, speaking of going deeper, if people want to go deeper and learn about the SSA or get involved or maybe set up space in your showroom, which I know is limited, or just connect with you, what's the best way to do that?
Email's the best. It's on the website, especially sleep. The website is sleepinformation.org, so you can contact me there. But just reach out because I can connect you. I can connect you with becoming a member or other members. Listen, Mark, people contact me when they need a job. Who do you know? right? So, you just know a lot of people. So the SSA is a connector. I'm a connector. So that's kind of what we want to do. We want to be able to put people together who need to be put together and just keep who's out there, who might need what. And yeah.
Well, you're a great connector, and I'm so thankful to be connected to you. You're one of my favorite people in this industry, and I'm so glad we get to live this life together and help people out. The SSA helps a ton of people out. It's like this incubator that gets people started and gets them going, and all kinds of cool sleep tech is in there. And it's one of my favorite places to go. When you're in Vegas, go to the C15 building. So C building, 15th floor, and find the SSA space and make sure and see Tambra. And just here's what you say to Tambra whenever you see her, everybody. Just walk up to her and just say, congratulations, and then be silent and see what she says.
I will let you in on some kind of secret, right?
That's right. I might be speaking from personal experience where I did that to somebody that was with us, and they're like, how do you know? I'm like, well, how do I know what? So it's become a running joke.
There's a lot of networking and they're going there. A lot of people are going there to share their stuff and figure out, they're looking for reps. Reps are looking for lines. There's lots of stuff going on in there. We have a lot of great reps to come through. I can't say how impressed I am by independent reps.
Yeah. Yeah. They're out there hustling. I mean, multi-bagging it, kicking down doors.
Boots on the ground, doing the deal.
Well, be sure to check out sleepinformation.org. Connect with Tambra. Like she said, they're rocking on LinkedIn. So you can go find the Specialty Sleep Association page on LinkedIn. And Tambra, thank you so much for being on the FAM podcast and sharing the story about the SSA. I mean, all the way back from waterbeds and futons to where we are today. It's really cool. Thank you for everything you do for this industry as well.
Thank you, Mark. I love you.
Have a wonderful day, and share this with a friend, and be sure to go to thefam.com and subscribe to our newsletter. And you can find this podcast on Spotify, Apple, and any place else you get your good podcast stuff. And if you're curious about Dream Camp, there's still time. Just apply. Go to the website and apply, and you get to hang out with cool people like Tambra. We'll see you here next week, every Monday on the FAM podcast.